Hello, and welcome to Star Wars Saturdays. Star Wars Saturdays is a living campaign that I've been running for the last year for the Gauntlet. The Gauntlet is a community thousands strong of friends, aficionados, and fanatics of tabletop RPGs, primarily focused around indie or small book RPGs. But we also have a little bit of an OSR contingent among our ranks. We are play worldwide over Google Hangouts until Google takes that away. Thanks, Google. But we'll find other ways to play, I promise you, because we are fanatic about these games. Star Wars Saturdays is, like I said, a living campaign. Every month I choose a different RPG, and all of these games are interconnected. So we'll have wholly new groups every month. Sometimes the roster will change throughout the month, but we're creating effectively our own canon. All this is taking place during the original trilogy of Star Wars movies. We started around Empire Strikes Back, like leading into Empire Strikes Back. And over the past year, we've progressed forward much faster than the movies came out, but we are in the Return of the Jedi timeline. So a Death Star has been destroyed. We don't know that another one's in creation and is fully functional. We're around that timeline. So there's only one official Jedi, but we may find out that there are other Jedi. And this is the second time this year that I have run the Impulse Drive game in the Star Wars Saturdays campaign. And so this is version 3.8, which has some revisions, which actually resulted, a couple of them, little tweaks, resulted from our play in April, as well as other play testing that's ongoing. Impulse Drive is a game from Adrian Toon, recently successfully kickstarted and is in development to be published. You can get the free version 3.8 off of DriveThruRPG. Strongly suggested. It is a beautiful little book, and it's only going to get prettier because of that awesome Kickstarter. So what we're going to do, everybody, before we went live, worked on characters, because it does take a little bit. We have this amazing character keeper that makes super gorgeous looking characters from Maxim Lacoste, but it does take a little bit of work, and so we spent our time doing that. And now we're to the point where we're going to introduce characters and discuss how this crew got together, because they are all going to be part of a crew. That's part of Impulse Drive's assumption, is that it's not only able to do Star Wars, but also Firefly, Killjoys, any of the space opera crew kind of ship-oriented things. You can, even if you really wanted to, do Battlestar Galactica type stuff, but we're doing it more in the vein of Firefly. And that's where we're headed. So they have the Iron Dart is the smuggling skyship that they are. Did it again. I always say smuggler in the skyship. That's Lady Blackbird for you. Is the smuggling spaceship that they have access to. It's a little tramp freighter that is pretty gorgeous. So I'm going to start with Bethany, if you don't mind. Bethany, could you please introduce us to your character?
Yeah, so Val is the Scoundrel playbook, and she is looking at these. She is very slick, and I think that's more the quick reaction thing than the charismatic thing. She thinks she's a lot more charismatic than she actually is. I haven't filled out like which PCs or NPCs. Oh no, they're both PCs. Fit into my hooks, but one of them I don't have to listen to anymore because they're not a leader anymore, and the other I've seen everything with the. They and I have seen everything together. We're closer than family, so which is which I don't know.
Now let me ask a couple questions about Val to get to know her. Is she from, so there are effectively rims within the galaxy in the Star Wars canon. Again, I'm not gonna like read you a treatise or anything like that, but there's the core worlds, which is like Coruscant, which is the capital where Emperor Palpatine currently resides, and the core worlds around there are all highly advanced. They're thousands of years of technology. Most of the worlds are either completely terraformed and beautiful, or like Coruscant, they go thousands of levels down into the core of the planet, and people have completely subterranean high-tech lifestyles. So that's the core worlds. They're all mostly wealthy, but then there's the scuzzy undertone, everything bright and shiny on the outside. The mid-rim is where most people kind of moved out to. It's like the suburbs to a degree, very safe. Very safe due to the Imperial controls that are put in place. And then you have the outer rim. That's where your Tatooines, your Hoths, your Dantooines, all the Dagobahs, all of those are out in the outer rim. They're very loosely patrolled by the Empire. There are a lot of cartels and other ne'er-do-wells who live there. For Val, where do you imagine that she grew up?
I think outer rim.
Okay, cool. So she's rough and tumble. She's used to fending for herself and living by her wits kind of thing. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Well, was she raised by people in crime, or did she kind of fall into it?
I think she fell into it. I think she comes from a family that was kind of I'm trying to think of the word like like the stereotype of like the frontier farmer who's honest and like principled.
Yeah.
I think the family she comes from thinks of themselves that way, and she was like, no, we're not getting anywhere doing this. I'm gonna sell drugs for a living. I'm gonna work my way out of this.
Nice. Cool. Yeah. So like you had some good salt of the earth, moisture farmers kind of type people, like your Uncle Ben or your Aunt Beru kind of stuff. Yeah, I like that. Salt of the earth. Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, that's exactly the phrase I was looking for. Thanks.
Yeah, awesome. And you was just like, bump this. I'm out of here. I'm not staying for another season. I don't care. Yeah. I'm doing my own thing. And then you effectively joined the circus or the traveling carnival
pretty much
of dirty folk. That's great. I like Val a lot. Now the scoundrel often like starts with a ship. Is this your ship?
Actually, can you post a link to the ship?
Absolutely.
Oh wait, no, it's on the. Yeah, it's in the tab. Okay. I
somehow missed that. Ship. We haven't named it. You guys are welcome to name it any time. The Iron Dart is the model, and there are a few pics in there. So are you cool with it being your ship?
Yeah.
If you don't want it to be your ship, that's fine too.
I think my ship is how I refer to it. I'm not sure it actually belongs to me legally.
Fun. Okay, cool. Yeah, so in this game, you actually start off with a ship, because that's part of the assumption, and you're under debt, right? You've got someone that you owe for it. So I think that's great. If you're not filling out the debt aspect, paying off your debt, then whoever you got it from will come after you. Now, are you imagining that you owe like a corporation, or perhaps someone from the Hutt cartel, or perhaps the Black Sun, which is another criminal organization that's extremely powerful? Some say that Emperor Palpatine's power is eclipsed by the Black Sun, but then those people are mostly folks who work for the Black Sun. Any of those sound interesting to you, or do you just have it on Hawk from so maybe you stole it from somebody? I don't know.
So I think that I bought it, but it was stolen property. And I, probably suspected that, but whatever. It was cheap. So I think I got it from some relatively small operation, because like, why would the Black Sun bother stealing a small cargo ship? But I think it's probably like either a small corporation, or like the small corporation owned it and then some random person stole it and who knows who this ship actually legally belongs to.
Okay, cool. Good. So to kind of work that in, how do you feel about that corporation occasionally, like if you're not paying them more, it's very expensive to buy a ship. That's kind of
Yeah.
the so maybe you are in the process of still paying it down, and if you fail to make those payments, then that small corporation, it's called like a mining corporation. Maybe we'll call it like Bespin Fuels. How's that sound? Does that sound good?
That sounds good. Yeah.
Yeah, all right. So Bespin Fuels, if you don't keep up payments to them, then they are going to be upset and may send folks your way.
Okay, cool. So yeah, I bought it from them, but yeah, who knows where they got it. So I could eventually run into its true owner somewhere.
Oh, that'll be a nice reaction that I could throw out. I like it a lot. The Iron Dart, if you guys are looking at the pic, one of the things I like about it is that it is built to literally pick up basically giant cargo containers. So we'll figure that out as we play, if that's stuff where you normally have cargo containers or if you just hot swap with wherever it is. So that's most of your cargo is something you can easily pick up and drop, which is good and bad. Cool. Thank you so much for telling us about Val. And going forward, I'll be calling Val. Val. Well, it looks like we had a issue with the image you dropped in, David. It was kind of showing up as a broken image for me. I just refreshed to see if it'll come in now. All right, David, tell us about your character. You are muted, David.
Uza Vever. He is hang on, having issues with nothing. He is a Togruta Jedi and is traveling incognito. Doesn't announce that he's a Jedi for obvious reasons. And he hooked up with this crew. There we go. He hooked up with this crew to find his place in the galaxy, to figure out what to do next. I believe that his mentor was killed by Vader, and now he's searching for a purpose. His looks, I chose blends in, piercing eyes, still thinking about personality. Volatile 0, calculating +2, slick -1, stalwart 0, and alien +1. And the hooks that I have is my order is hunted by the Empire for our beliefs. I must stay incognito. And I put these down here. You guys can let me know if these work for you. I will teach Val that they can't always break the rules. And Quake has a destiny I must make them see and commit to. That's
pretty cool.
Yeah.
I have a question. Do I know that you're a Jedi? Do I know that you're a Jedi, or is this just some kind of gut instinct that I have that I want to protect you?
Let's say that you do know that I'm a Jedi.
Cool, makes sense. Yeah.
Do you think maybe your master, or well, they think they call master, it's not gender specific in Jedi culture. Maybe you think your master sent you towards Quake, or call for Quake to come as they went to face Vader, like come take care of this young Padawan kind of thing? You like that?
Yeah, let's work with that if that works for everyone else. Yeah.
Good. Awesome.
Yeah, definitely.
Good. That is exciting. And now you're working on the smuggler skyship just to pay the bills and to give you a lot of mobility to stay under the Imperial radar?
Right, and I think also gives me the opportunity to find out if there are any other Jedi, maybe plan to like get the order back up and running once the Empire has been taken care of. But who knows? The future is undecided at this point.
Nice. That's a lofty goal, Booza. Neat. All right, I like it a lot. Thank you so much, David. And then Sabine. Sabine, please introduce us to your character.
Okay, so I'm playing the former clone trooper CG5713, which he hasn't heard in a while. He was called Quake, even in the Clone Wars, because he liked to throw grenades at seismic activity zones and create earthquakes. That was kind of his thing. Well, that was a long time ago, but the name kind of stuck. He doesn't do it usually anymore. He was assigned to a Jedi, and then one day he just decided that all Jedi were evil and he had to kill her. And afterwards he realized that that wasn't actually what he wanted to do, that this was just an order that was put into his mind, and somehow he broke the control. And now he has a score to settle with the Empire because, well, he was their puppet and he didn't like it. For the same reason, he will protect Booza Vivre. Well, because he failed one Jedi, maybe he can kind of make it up to the Jedi, to his former friend. I'd say they were actually friends. And yeah, well, Quake is a clone trooper, so he's been fighting for a long time. He is, yeah, that's what's the word I was looking for. He's kind of laid back, actually, most of the time. He's not getting excited a lot. It's just more like, oh, well, now we're gonna die. Maybe if we press this button, we won't. Like that.
That is awesome. What is the most obvious scar that Quake wears?
I think obvious scar. I think he let me give it a thought. I think he has a scar in his head, and at the back of his head. That's what I was looking for. That was actually when he made when he found some hack to make the incision and take the chip out. That made him susceptible to the Empire's commands.
Nice.
And he has actually the scar itself is pretty visible, but there is also a tattoo going around the scar.
Oh, cool!
Like the sunburst things that come out of the scar, just to remind him.
Curious about Quake. Why is he not part of the rebellion? If he hates the Empire, and they just took out a Death Star not long ago, is it a thing where he just hasn't made contact with the rebellion, or he doesn't trust them, or someone within the rebellion has unkind feelings towards Quake?
Yeah, I think it's mostly he thinks that the rebellion is maybe better off without him a little bit, because he is pretty obviously a clone. He has this clone armor and everything. And besides the whole thing, well, he hasn't made contact, and also he has to protect Booza. And he can go running off and drag him into a conflict with the Empire. Yeah, right. No, can't do that.
All right. I like that. I like that a lot. That is a really, really cool. Good. Let's make sure we've got hooks towards everybody. See, Quake, you had a couple. You're going to protect Booza from anything, even themselves. What about these other hooks? Unsettled score with the Empire. You mentioned that. And this last one?
The last one I was going maybe to leave open for the other characters, but I can totally see where it would work towards Val, because she looks kind of young in that picture.
She does. How do you feel about that, Val?
I would be cool with that. That makes sense.
Cool.
Especially if I like make if let me see this. If I make Quake the PC in this last one of mine, it's then and I've seen everything together. We're closer than family. I think that the idea of having Val thinking of them as sort of like equals, and who have fought together, and Quake thinking of Val as like his little sidekick is good.
I do like that dichotomy of a feeling. I like that. That is really interesting to me.
Yeah, I think it's mostly really a paternal kind of feeling, because obviously Quake doesn't have any children of his own, and then he picked up this girl at the circus, and she kind of seemed like lost a bit. He wouldn't tell her that because she's young and she's proud, and you can't tell young people that they're young and have no idea about what they're doing, because that will make them do the exact thing. Yeah, but he's kind of trying to keep her out of trouble.
That fits.
Maybe. Yeah, cool.
Oh, I definitely am a fan of that uneven relationship, the asymmetrical pairing there. That is really cool. Great. Thank you all so much. I'm really interested to see how things go. Let's go ahead and jump in. If you take a look, I'm going to go ahead and hide the creation tabs just to give us a little less stuff to deal with in the character keeper. And I'm going to leave the species names and slang out there because sometimes I use it. There is a lexicon of expletives in the Star Wars universe. We'll use some of them, but don't worry. And so my ship is Val's ship is what is currently called, I guess, for now. Let's go ahead and jump into the idea of you guys being smugglers. And we're going to start off. If you take a look at the galaxy maps, I'm going to go ahead and hide the gear tab as well. Everybody got their gear out, if I remember correctly. So go to galaxy maps. I've got in here, and I'll go ahead and screen share just to set where we're at. So if you take a look in the galaxy maps, we are going to start off. This is actually the outer rim. It's kind of the lower portion. You've got the Corellian trade spine, the Rima trade route, and the hiding away. Those are important because they are heavily patrolled, but also extremely safe modes of transportation. They're effectively highways. They're space highways that people will traverse in order to avoid problematic having a plot hyperspace route from planet to planet. And if you don't use the hiding away of the Rima trade route, then there's always the possibility that your star charts could be off, your calculations could be askew, and you end up hurtling into a sun or an asteroid field. So it can be dangerous if you do not use those trade routes. And we're going to start off with you guys on the planet of Rutan, Rutan. So Rutan actually happens to be right on the hiding way. It should be an extremely prosperous planet, but they have had problems. The main problems for Rutan is the Rutani are a green and blue skinned. They kind of fish people look. If you glance over to the NPCs tab, you'll see Rutan. They have these kind of almost ET look to them, like ET, the movie ET, the extraterrestrial, where they have these extended necks and they have these kind of big, like gray alien bulbous eyes. And the big problem the Rutani have is that their closest moon, Sinal, has what is considered, like they call themselves an offshoot of the species, the Sinali. And the Sinali want to be self-governing. And the Rutan don't like that. And so the Rutan and Sinali have been fighting for a number of years. In fact, Quake you've been aware of the Rutali, Rutani and Sonali conflict from your days during the Clone Wars. Did you ever have any activities here as part of the Old Republic to quell any of the fights?
Yeah, I guess so, because these moon guys, they wanted to separate from the Rutani, and the Rutani were in the Republic, and those moon guys didn't want to be in the Republic, so they allied with the separatists. And well, I was here before. It wasn't just a quick mission, actually, just to scout it out, and then things went pear-shaped anyway, but it was never finished.
Nice. So you did a mission here before, you and your squad. Maybe there was you dropped a few munitions in a particular cavern, create a bit of a larger cavern than before, maybe a little bit of a quake. So we start off with that little bit of info about Rutan, and you guys are coming here because where there's war, there's profit, right? And so let's take a look here at the moves, special, and commerce, because there's some cool special moves that we can engage here. When you dock or land your ship somewhere for the first time or after being away for at least an episode, roll plus disposition for the faction that controls the territory. Oh, I haven't been reading the side commentary. Is there anything I've missed?
We have a name for the ship.
Oh, yes. What's the name for the ship?
Nerf Herder.
Oh, my God.
Because Val has been called it so much that she's decided to own it and name her ship that.
Oh, that's just lovely.
Do we in fact take on jobs to herd nerfs?
I that is the best thing ever. A nerf herder.
Would you herd? Maybe we haul them occasionally.
I think you should occasionally. You have some kind of nerf herding discount that you offer, and so you get lots of nerf herding jobs. Wow, that is great. So you guys are headed down to Rutan's surface. The capital city of Rutan is, like most things in Star Wars, called Rutan City. And if you look in the special and commerce, when you dock or land your ship somewhere for the first time or after being away for at least an episode, roll plus disposition for the faction that controls the territory. That would be the Rutan military. And I'm going to say, unless, Quake, you feel otherwise, we'll call it a neutral disposition. Do you think they would actually remember you?
I don't know. I mean, they might remember that once in the times at the end of the Old Republic, some clone troopers were there and did some stuff for them, but it's kind of long time ago.
Lost
and
in
they
the years, lost in different military people, retired, all that good stuff.
And they wouldn't remember me personally anyway, because
all
clones.
Right. Then we will go with neutral disposition. Who would like to roll the crew is back in town?
I can do that.
All right, cool.
Unless you want the R as well, because it's your ship.
No, I think you're the only one who's back in town, maybe.
Okay, cool.
All right, so you roll 2d6 plus 0.
What was my name?
What is this crazy gold die here? That is...
I don't know.
Oh my goodness, you rolled an 11.
Oh, that was me playing with it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Wait, I didn't know you could do that. That is so cool.
I didn't either. That's just what it came up with when I rolled 1d3.
Oh, so it rolls Roman numerals. That is so dope. All right, so Quake, you have rolled an 11. It's an unaltered roll. That is pretty amazing. On a 10 plus, you dock without issue, and everything seems clear. So as you guys land on Rutan, you immediately scroll up on your data pad that there is communication from a particular commander by the name of Daz. Commander Daz, he's part of the Rutan military. You could possibly find out more information if you so wish. He is looking for he's looking for movement of stuff, non-military parts and tools to off planet, and he is looking for someone who is willing to do that. No, he hasn't explained why he's not using the military to transport it, but it does appear to be relatively lucrative. In fact, if you work this successfully, the Nerf herder, you guys will be able to take down and make a couple payments to the Bespin Fuels in order to take care of that debt that you owe them.
Cool. That's exactly the kind of job we look for, right? Lucrative, and we're not really sure why they're not doing this more legitimately.
So you guys are smugglers, so
yeah, exactly.
Is this something that PbtA can research more about?
Absolutely. How do you think PbtA would try to research it? Is a thing where before you go to meet with Commander Daz, you go.
I see PbtA as someone who does research on missions, on jobs, just out of habit, and would talk to people, find out what's not being shared with us, just as a matter of professional understanding in case some complications might arise.
All right. So Raton City, the capital city, is pretty busy and also cosmopolitan. There is a small Imperial presence here, but it's not even a full garrison. The Raton military have evidently, as you land, you see there are very few stormtroopers. There's basically Imperial presence to kind of fill out idents, to trade credits, that kind of stuff, swap out Raton monies for Imperial credits. But there isn't a huge, you don't really even see any TIE fighters, anything like that as you guys land. So what do you tell Quake, your Minder friend, going to head out into Raton City and see what's up?
Yeah, I think for PbtA likes to get to know the cultures and the people and sample the foods and whatnot. So yeah, PbtA would be like, I'm going out to get a taste of the city. Do you want me to bring anything back?
Are you sure you should be going alone? I mean, it could be dangerous.
You can come if you want.
I'll come. I haven't been to this city before. I'd like to see my way around.
Yeah, sure. Let's go looking around. Oh, I think I was here before.
Oh, then you know best place to find food.
It was a long time ago. It was during the Old Republic, I'm pretty sure it's closed down now.
Let us go sample the culture.
Sure.
All right. So, Quake, are you leading the trio into the city? Or is this a thing where you're just following behind PbtA and letting him do whatever and making sure he doesn't get his butt shot?
I'm falling behind PbtA because he has these Jedi vibes, because I've been conditioned to follow the Jedi around.
I love it. You've taken out you can take the programming out of the clone trooper, but you can't take the clone trooper out of the programmer or something. I don't know. Awesome. And what about Daz? What is her general, when you're in a foreign place or a new planet?
No, I kind of have the same inclination as PbtA. Like, I go see what's here. I might not ever be on this planet again, so let's check it out while we're here.
They might have Nerf for us to herd.
Oh, not again. This thing smells so bad.
It smells so good when you roast it.
But the meat's pretty good. Hey, is there a place that serves Nerf here?
Put a little bit of Minot juice on it for 3 hours.
I like the milk.
Space cooks.
My Nox, you just twist and twist and twist and get the nice juice. Oh, so good.
So you guys are chatting about different ways to prepare Nerf meat. The spaceport itself, they don't have individual hangars unless you pay extra. So I imagine you guys just on the cheap, you park where there are several other. You can kind of look across and see that there are a dozen other different freighters here. All of them are a little on the grungy side. There's a lot of movement in and out of the port. It's very active. And you head out of the port where a lot of the mechanics and even a few Celestins are climbing up on top of a particular tramp freighter. They watch you guys, of course, suspiciously, but you make your way out into the small bazaar where a lot of the folks will offload things that are imported, and then they're sold at this bazaar near the spaceport, and you can smell there's fried meats, and sure, you guys find there's actually a place called Bantha's that serves different meats of bantha meat, and there's even some Nerf meat that you can get there. Now that I've seen picture of Nerf, I can't unsee it. Thank you for sharing that. Yay, Wikipedia, you're amazing. So there's different meats there, and it's like a stand. It's almost like a food truck type deal, right? Where they get new shipment in. There are a few people who will cook it up. There's a grill, and they just kind of hope that the smell will draw people in. A few tables that are set up, but a lot of people just kind of eat. Nearby, there is a spacer bar called Spungo's. Spungo's is, interestingly enough, it actually has what looks like a ship that may have like crashed behind it, and then they've built up something around it, so you can still see the engines, like ancient engines. So Quake, this particular ship that crashed and now Spungo's is, how is this ship, like how are you involved in this particular ship crashing in this spot? Did you shoot it down or
no, not exactly. This ship didn't crash down during the war for once. It crashed down later after I had left the whole Empire thing behind, and I was on this ship, and then I noticed that they were slave traders actually, and I kind of objected to that. So there was some sort of fisticuffs and things escalated a bit, and I took the slaves out in a pod, but the ship kind of crashed. Well, yeah,
cool.
Yeah, was a long time ago.
So they've stripped the ship's remnants, so you can't see what its designation was. But Quake, you know that it was once called the Indomitable, which had turned out to be a pretty unfortunate name, much like the Titanic. So yeah, there's Spungo's Spacebar. There's also a place that has some really nice clothing, like different fashionable clothing and accoutrement, accessories, that kind of thing. And there's also a place that's run by a small Rhodian family. They do like mechanical repairs and technology. They have drones for sale, that kind of stuff. So what do you guys want to do?
I want to tell the other two people about the ship, of course.
Cool. Well, I don't want to turn this into a shopping episode. But Rich, do we have a droid, or are we droidless for our crew?
So Star Wars lore, you need some way to do astrogation, like plotting out courses. Mm-hmm. So it makes perfect sense for you guys to have some kind of droid to help with that, because it's often a very, like, if you had an intellect, they could do it for you.
Yeah.
And you can have a Navicomputer, but the Iron Dart's kind of low rent, so I imagine you probably need a droid.
Okay. So
we have an astromech. Sorry, David.
Yeah. No, I don't think that my character would be its primary caretaker. So who else would want to take charge of this astromech?
I think it's Val's problem.
Okay. Yeah, I think maybe it came with the ship, and I think, at least to start with, it wasn't mobile. Like, it was just the broken, the part that did the calculations was all that was left of it. And it was just like bolted onto the wall or something. And over time, I've been like, okay, yeah, let's see if we can add onto it a little. So it's a very cobbled together astromech. I think at this point it can move on its own.
So like but there's probably like some terrain we kind of have to do an assist with.
Yeah, it's definitely.
So
you can tell.
I like this. So there's like periodically we're like sort of like going to like hardware stores and picking up spare bits of this and that to upgrade our do-it-yourself droid.
Wow, that is great.
I imagine that has a rather sad beep, like beep.
Yes. Yes.
It's this weird like grinding minor key, like what happens if you're, if there's something obviously wrong with your car and you don't know what it is and you're afraid to find out what it is.
Yeah, I kind of feel like there's like this turn engine light on that we don't know what it does or how to turn it off. It's just always on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is it a walker? Is it on some kind of like tank treads? Does it have a couple of legs that just it wheels around, kind of like how does it transport? I'm curious.
I like the tank treads. Maybe I've been trying to add some sort of hovering ability to it, but it's just like it tilts. I can't get it balanced right, and I don't know what's wrong with it.
This is great. This poor droid.
Oh,
I think it tends to stand on his head every once in a while and then beeps disorientedly around.
Yeah, we totally put like something in it is upside down. We don't know what, so it occasionally gets the urge, like it doesn't know which way is up.
And Booza, every time they go to a destination, Booza gets like the equivalent of like a one of those travel stickers and puts it on. So it's like plastered with where they've been.
Yep.
So Booza definitely before he leaves wants to get one of those.
This is by far the most flavorful droid of any Star Wars Saturday game. I adore this droid. You guys have to think of a name. You already did the Nerf herder, so I know you're good with names. So you can talk about that in the chat. We'll just for now refer to it as the droid. I assume the droid is following you guys then, since you just put a sticker on it. Okay, sweet. So there you are. You guys grab a little bit of a Nerf burger or something, and you're looking across the spaceport. It's loud. There are lots of smells. There's still that constant presence of the grease and smoke from being so close to the spaceport itself. Imagine if you're right near a huge garage, that's what you got. But then you have the heavy smells of all the cooked meats, and then there's a light smell wafting in of the perfumes from that little fashionable area where they seem to be selling different clothing and accessories and the like. And then so there the three of you guys are. Nobody seems to give you much trouble while the three of you are eating. There are thousands of people here. Imagine the density of a large city, but it's all kind of focused around the hub. Once you get outside, like several blocks away, things really thin out, but this is where most of the population comes. So what do you guys want to do?
Booza is looking for the right people to talk to about their meetup, to get the lowdown, get some history, find out what else might be in the air. Otherwise, enjoying the sort of experiencing the city.
Awesome.
Seems like a good, responsible plan.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So it mentioned, I think it was Sabine who mentioned that ship used to carry slaves. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Yeah. The Indomitable used to be a slave ship?
I mean, who knows? Like maybe one of those slaves has made a life for themselves here. Talk to them.
Nice.
Yeah, whatever.
Cool. I like that. Awesome. So let's see here. It sounds like my robot vacuum has gotten stuck somewhere, and we may need to take our first bio break. Let me do that. Let me think about that. Former slave sounds really interesting. So let's take our first break. It's 35 after the hour. Let's go ahead and I find a 7-minute break to be most fun. So 42 after is when we'll meet back again, and we'll pick things back up. So see you guys in 7. Oh, Samit, I'm so excited. I've commissioned. I got excited about a thing that I'm doing for February's game for Gauntlet Comics, and I went off and commissioned some art for it, and I just got stuck a few samples. Do you like it this way, or this way? Like, it's so cool.
Wow, that's cool for Star Wars or something else.
It's for Gauntlet Comics. It's going to be the new. I'm still doing Star Wars Saturdays, but during midweek I'll be running a multi-GM thing called Gauntlet Comics, where it's we pretend that we're our own comics line, and it's in a super city called New Gauntlet City. And,
okay. So it's for masks or something?
Well, masks is what I'm kicking it off with, but I'm actually writing or hacking. I'm hacking an existing game called One Percenters, which is one of my favorite games.
Okay.
To do street level team based supers. And it's called One Percenter Supers. And the cover looks so dope. It's gonna look so cool. One of the things I asked the artist, I said, I don't have a big budget for this because literally this is the thing where I got excited about it, and he came back with some ideas. I'm like, oh my god, that's so much cooler. Are you sure? He says, yep, it's good. I like it. I'm excited about it too. So it's nice.
Cool.
All right. Uh-oh. We've got attempts to hover examples.
What?
It's bouncing. Oh, not bouncing anymore. And trash. Helicopter car. Oh, that's cute. Awesome. So it is supper time for the artist. So he just sent me one sample, and now he's gone away because I said, I'm running a game. Please stop distracting me with your awesome. And he said, that's fine. All right. David, are you back? Okay, cool. I see here you guys had some ideas for the droid's name. 808, which you call Bob, and then 404. Which do you? It's yours, Val. So which do you prefer? What do you normally call it?
I like the 404 idea. That seems very appropriate for this droid.
It's pretty great.
Although it is a perfectly good astromech. It can plot courses just fine. It's everything else it's bad at.
Sweet. So good. Welcome back, David. Since you have a little bit of information with Quake's help, then I think it would be interesting, Buza, if we go ahead and gauge a move here. It's the share expertise, because you've got accumulated knowledge. You're a traveler. You're looking for this the slave or some slaves who are the result from the indomitable crashing. So when you consult your accumulated knowledge on something you're an expert in, roll plus calculating.
Okay. Let's see what we got. Ooh, that's my best approach.
You're very calculating.
I am.
Calculate the crap out of things.
All right. Let's see. There's this thing. So 2d6 plus 2.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
If someone wants to help you, which it seems like you guys are doing, they can lean on you.
Yeah, quick. Lean.
Cool. So when you support a crew member's efforts in an action before they roll or offer them comfort in an intimate moment, roll plus stalwart.
Cool. Yeah, I can do that, I think. I've gotten 7, 9.
9. Okay, cool. So on a 7 to 9, you do what you can. You can choose 2. The options is around row 12 and basic moves. Your efforts help them. They have advantage going forward, which means if you gave that to Booza, he would roll 3d6 and pick the best 2.
Cool.
Or your support brings some relief, clear stress. Nobody has any stress yet. Or you aren't pushed to your limits or exposed to danger or complication for your efforts. You get 2 choices because of 7 to 9.
Okay. Wait. I can see it. There you are. Am I muted? No. So I think I will give Musa an advantage.
Okay.
And also I have to look at these options. And I'm confused between all these tabs I've got open. So
Let me drop it into the Hangout chat so you can look at those.
I think I've got it. It's a social move? No, it's not.
It is a social move, yeah.
And it's there it is. Okay. I am not pushed to my limits or exposed to danger or complications. So yeah, because we don't need relief at that moment.
All right. So you get to roll with advantage plus calculating. I anticipate this going well.
All right. Let's see if this is going to roll. Roll. I selected. Yes, roll. All right, well, let's try a different one. There we go.
Oh,
so I got a 9 plus 2.
Wait, you can roll a third die. You're rolling with advantage. You get to roll 3 dice. I mean, you're still a super success, but I wanted you to have the full benefit. It's exciting to roll 3 dice. I'm just saying.
It is. I always forget about those opportunities. Is it okay if I do this, or do you want me to re-roll?
No. You can just roll 1 more die and take the best.
All right, so 1. Wow. Okay, I got an 11.
Nice. Okay. So with an 11, if you take a look, a 10 plus, you can ask a question related to the topic in the SM, the Space Master. That's what it's called in this game. I'll give you a useful answer, ask you to make up the answer. Do you want to make up the answer where you could find some slaves, or do you want me to take the reins?
Oh, this is just to find the slaves.
Yeah.
Let's see. Rutan. I should have gone to that link about Rutan.
No,
why don't I do it? Yeah. Okay. Maybe there is. Oh, okay. I'm going to say that there's some as proprietors of a gambling den in this area.
Ooh, nice.
I think that'll be nice for Val and challenging for me to prevent her from getting distracted. Yeah, let's do that.
Okay, so then you find out that a number of the slaves have found work at a gambling den that is just off the beaten path here. It's run by a Sulliston. Sulliston does the co-pilot on the Millennium Falcon when Lando was flying it. And we'll say that Sulliston's name is Duaneb. Duaneb. I'll throw that in the NPCs in just a minute. And so Duaneb runs this little establishment, and there are a number of slaves who work there. But
can we call the establishment the Black Hole?
We now call it the Black Hole.
And then every like whatever 4 years they have the equivalence of an Olympic style gambling tournament.
Okay, sure.
Okay,
sounds fun. Good. So you guys
exactly Bethany.
So that I imagine like the guys are taking a couple steps down in this is like a basement area. Curious, Quake. How is gambling seen in Rutan? Were there a bunch of casinos here before when you were last here?
No, there were not. These people were pretty much, I think, no nonsense and rather rational, and they didn't like gambling or any kind of public social events, actually.
Ooh, interesting.
But Planet Shore has changed.
Nice. Well, maybe it's changed here, but as you had to ask around, it wasn't like there were big signs directing you to this little gambling hall. As you take a couple steps down, Val, you see there's a sign is written in Basic, which is kind of the universal language. No droids allowed. So they evidently games a chance. They don't want droids here. And so poor is it? Did we go with 404?
Yeah.
And 404 will have to tank tread it back towards the ship, I guess.
Yeah, unless we want to send him on an errand. Like, is there something we want him to do?
Yes, we totally need to send 404 on a mission. Oh gosh.
Totally. I think we need some Nerf milk. We're almost out.
Maybe
we send him for groceries. Yeah.
Yeah, totally. He's like our grocery Uber.
Now, Val, as far as you know, does 404 like having something to do, or is this a menial drudge work for 404?
No.
No, he likes having something to do because, like, he hasn't, like, for a long time, he was just a brain bolted to a wall, you know? So, like, any chance to get out and move around is kind of still novel.
Yeah, and I like the idea that we're adapting, like, his massive navigational star chart capabilities to navigate and locate groceries that are essential. That they are essential for us, right? And we give him that pep talk speech. Only you can do this.
And then he starts to wheel off. And imagine, you guys ever gotten a shopping cart or a shopping buggy where one of the wheels is just kind of does that thing?
Yeah, and I feel like we either have a hook for bags or we have this temporary like basket that we attach. Like, here's your gear for your mission.
Oh, it's like the front basket on a bicycle.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh man,
Cool.
somebody needs.
I give him an affectionate pat when he goes off and tell him that he will do well, buddy.
See, we need a 500-page story about 404 now.
Yep,
Totally.
that's it. It's your NaNoWriMo. You guys missed your opportunity.
Oh, yeah. Ended yesterday, yep.
Cool. As you come down here, you see that they actually have a couple of Gamorrean guards. The place is run by Sulliston. He is dressed nice, like, who knows, maybe he on the side runs that little fashion boutique thing you guys saw near the spaceport, because he is dressed really well. Sulliston's, if you guys remember, not super tall. He's like 5 foot tall. He's got these nice looking robes, and he walks around. You see that the dealers of Sabak, which is, the Han Solo card game, you can find it on Amazon because Han Solo movie didn't do well. You can get it pretty cheap. Anyway, they have a number of Twi'leks that are dealers, male and female Twi'leks who are dealers, and you guys know that Twi'leks are often considered a slave race, as are Wookiees. And Buza, you see the few Twi'leks that are here. They obviously are the ones who are slaves. You recognize Quake, that of the, let's say there are 4 here. One of them is older, like about your age, and you think she marks you, like recognizes you, because there's a moment where she just sees you walk in, and then she like no, and then she deals some more of the cards. These kind of cards, like this, it's about cards.
So does Quake have a prior relationship with this particular slave?
I don't know. Does Quake have a prior relationship with this particular slave, who we shall call them Octuna. Octuna. And I'll drop that in the chat.
Yeah, I think they maybe were on that ship together and worked to get it, to destroy it, or to get the slaves to run. So he's a bit surprised to see her here. He isn't too sure if it's the same woman because it was 20 years ago. Yeah, well, and I don't think he had a closer relationship. This was rather. This wasn't long after the whole Order 66 thing happened, so he wasn't in a good place at that point of time.
Oh, nice. Right after Order 66. Cool. Good.
Yeah, right after he got his chip out, actually.
Ooh. Huh. Did he get it taken out around here?
Maybe that's why he came here.
Ooh, interesting. Okay. I am adding Uktuna to the NPCs tab just so you guys have an opportunity to look at her. All right. There we go. So yeah, there's some Bish music. It's kind of a synth jazz that's playing in here. The air is heavy with incense, and there's like, if you stayed here for an entire night, you would get a contact buzz off of the various hookahs and the like that are being used in the area. There's a small bar where you have a few people, including a Transition. Transitions are the big lizard men dudes, Bosk. You know, they are not nice customers. They usually stand like 6.5 feet to 7 feet tall, and they are often bounty hunters. And so there's one female Trandoshan who is sitting there, and she gets the really big, because they have kind of clumsy big fingers. So she has a larger cup, and she's throwing back some kind of alcohol. And yeah, here you guys are. You enter in. You've sent off 404 on the very important refill the auto chef grocery hike. And
can we do like a Rita Stitch type move?
Absolutely. So for that particular move, if you look in the basic moves, there's one called Scope It Out. When you take time or use sensitive equipment to closely study an object, situation, or person, roll plus calculating, which you happen to be really good at.
I guess Booza kind of like love-hate relationship with Val's expertise in this sort of area. Would ask Val for her input.
Okay. Yeah. And I think I'm like trying to blend in, sort of not looking like I'm part of this group, and just sort of get an overall idea of, you know, who's doing what, you know, and then, you know, kind of circle around the place and come back and start sort of whispering any information I have to.
Awesome. I think you're trying to lean on or offer some support. So go ahead and roll plus stalwart. All right, that would be for Val. It appears to be 2 3s. What is your stalwart? Oh my.
My stalwart is it 1 or 0? Let me see.
It looks like a 0.
Okay, cool. That's that. Huh. It never showed up on mine. Weird.
Oh, it did?
No, it's still running on mine, but cool.
Okay, I'm showing 2 green 3s as usual.
Yep, that's right.
Okay. All right. So with that 0 in stalwart, that means that you failed. The good news is you get an XP, Val.
Yay!
Congratulations. And the bad news is that as you're working the room, you hear the low rumbling sound of an Athorian Ithorian are the hammerheads, the ones that have the kind of weird hammerhead shark, like that's what you hear. But because this is Star Wars, you know what he has said. And this is Moza, who you used to work with back when you escaped that pissant moisture farm.
Oh, awesome. Yes. My first boss, I think.
Yeah, Moza, your first boss. And Moza says, wow, it's been a very long time. What are you doing here on Rutan?
Just a perfectly legal delivery run.
And the Ithorian, like, they have these really long fingers, right? He reaches, he grabs your arm, like he doesn't want you to walk away. He doesn't grip it hard. It's just one of those, like, he has the kind of tree trunk type grip if he wanted to. The Ithorians, they have these like really thick, like they don't really end in toes, just these thick legs kind of things, so they could withstand. You've seen Moza stand in the middle of this huge storm with wind whipping around, and he's like a tree, right? And he says, "Ooh, the Force has brought you to me. I'm very glad to see you. Many things are happening on Rutan."
Force. I didn't know you were into the Jedi stuff.
Oh, it's just a funny phrase. You're with that one? Those two over there?
Yeah, this run.
This run. Have a seat. He gestures with his big fingers on his offhand and gestures towards this little table that's not far from the bar.
Yeah, I don't think this can possibly be good, but you know, what the hell? Rather than draw suspicion, too soon, I'll sit down and like listen to what he has to say.
Cool. And so Booza and Quake, it appears that Val has ditched you guys for some reason with this Ithorian guy.
Booza says to Quake, I hope that she's lining up her next job.
Yeah, I think she should be fine. She knows people. She's been around. But
and so Booza's hand almost reflectively kind of goes up the side of the flight suit that he's wearing, like where the lightsaber would be. Yeah, that's what I'm concerned about, knowing the wrong people.
Well, we're not here to take perfectly legal Empire jobs, so I trust her to do her thing. But you notice that when he says that, he keeps his eyes on the pair of them, just to make sure.
The Booze is like, let's go get a drink.
Yeah, let's see if they have Nerf milk or any kind of milk, really.
Oh, they've got blue milk.
Nice.
That's some of the top shelf stuff.
Wow. Okay, so I'll have that one.
Cool. So you guys head up and you end up sidling up to the bar right by the Trandoshan. We zip back to the Authority. It looks like your friends have left you to your own. That's what you wanted, right?
It's good to be trusted. They know I'm a competent person and don't need their help.
That's right.
I wouldn't move too far away, so if this guy makes a move, we can get there quickly or keep an eye on the conversation.
So I'm curious, Val, what kind of work did you do for Moza? Were you like a hitter? Were you known for your blaster? Were you known for being sneaky? Were you an amazing pilot?
I think. I think I was like hired for one thing, but I ended up showing more, more potential as a pilot. I think like I got thrown in with this, maybe 2 or 3 other people to do something. Yeah, probably sneaky. And I ended up just always being the getaway driver because it turned out I was better at that. So eventually, you know, I think he hired someone else who was actually more what he was looking for.
Ouch.
Yeah, you know. I thought I was doing great.
Nice. I just imagine, did he fire you over Twitter? Is that how it went? Okay.
Pretty
sorry.
much, yeah.
All right. He says, Lockett is no longer working for me. You came here on the ship?
Yeah. As always.
Good.
What did he I don't know. What did he do?
Didn't do his job as well as you. That's why I'm so happy you're here.
Okay.
Val, there are some things I need to get to the moon here. You will take it for me, yes?
Maybe. What are we talking here? And a bit more important, who are we talking here?
He waves his fingers. You don't need to ask any questions. You take a few crates up to Senali, drop it off with the right people. I make sure you get paid what Lockett would have gotten. Plus 10%.
So, Rich, does Bruza feel any supernatural influence going on here?
Does Booza feel supernatural influence? Like, do you feel that
Like
he's trying to do anything? Or are you just checking for the force? Oh, interesting. I think you go ahead and let's have you scope it out. So you don't have the assistance to roll. Let's have you scope it out.
Right. Because I feel like Val is already susceptible to making poor life choices. I don't know. Deals in drugs, like all these things. Like, I gotta like make sure that this is on the up and up. Scope it out.
Yep.
All right, let's do that. Is this with 3 dice or just 2?
It is just 2 because the lean on me was a fail.
Awesome. All right, I got a 9.
A 9er? That's pretty great. With a 9, you can ask one question. Do you have the question list?
Yes, I do. Okay.
And again, some of these are place related, but yeah, I think you can get what you need out of those questions.
So let's go with who or what hears not what they seem.
All right, who here is not what they seem. So what you get as you sidle up to the bar and are getting some blue milk with your buddy Quake is that Trandoshan. There are 2 things you pick up off of her. First is that she has as much interest in what the Ithorian and your friend Val are talking about as you do. She's playing it off, right? Because the great thing about a Trandoshan is they don't have muscles in their face to really show a lot of expression. But we just lost David. I bet he tried to turn his video back on and hung up. I say that because I might have done that in the past.
I've done that at least 5 times.
Hey, David, did you try to turn your camera back on and hung up?
Yeah.
That was our guess. Yep. It's good stuff. Welcome to the club. Now you've entered the video cam back on hang up club.
Yeah, it's awesome. Okay, so she's playing it off.
Trandoshan, she's paying a great deal of attention to the Thorian and Val, and but trying to play it off. And the other thing that you pick up is the ident that she has on the inside of her jackets. That she is a member of the Bounty Hunter Guild.
Okay.
So that is who does not seem. She's not just some regular thug bounty hunter. She's probably here on a contract.
Okay. So, I'm trying to think of how that would play into using the Force to find out if the.
Oh, well, you search your feelings and you pick up these things, and you also sense that there's an expectation of violence. Like this transition sees something going on that she's going to act on.
Okay, so here's what I'm thinking, and we can figure out if this should happen later or whatnot, to strike up a conversation and suggest to Trandoshan that there's nothing to see here.
Ooh, really?
Like offer to buy her a drink, and just very subtly.
Cool. How do you approach that? Do you like, hey friend, or is this a thing where you're like reaching out to suggest right away?
Oh yeah. I'm definitely using the Force in the background.
Nice.
The suggestion ability, but I'm like, hey, you look like you could need a drink. Not like as a pickup line, but just like, hey, you look like you could need a drink.
Yeah, all friendly. Yeah. I mean, you're a teeny tiny human.
Yeah.
Or I mean, teeny tiny Togruta.
Yeah. And just sort of subtly push like, oh, there's nothing here after all.
Ooh, nice. Okay, so it sounds like you're using suggestion.
Yeah.
So you discharge the move, so go ahead and put an X right by the little D box there.
Okay.
And roll plus alien.
Yay! Discharge. Okay, go down.
Your alien is a +1, so that's good.
Yep. Okay. I got a 5.
So the good news is...
No, wait, I didn't. I'm sorry. I misread this. I got 6, 7. I got an 8.
Ah!
But I'll take the 5.
No. And by the way, and I didn't explain this earlier, and I apologize for this. If at any point you feel that one of your character's hooks applies here, and I'll try to be mindful of it and point them out. But if at any point where you're like, yeah, this hook definitely impacts me here, then you will roll with disadvantage. And I can make the offer like, hey, it feels like this hook is, and you can ignore me. You can say, no, I don't think so. And you don't have to pay anything for it. But by rolling with disadvantage, you roll 3d6 and keep the lowest 2. Do you think that a hook, like your order being hunted by the Empire, dealing with this bounty hunter might be... Oh, so go ahead and roll another die. One more die.
All right. So looks like I have up there the 3 and 1. So that is a 5.
I deleted some to try to make it a little bit.
Great. That's great.
So you had an 8, which was what added up to a 6. What were those 2 dice? Do you remember?
Let's see. So the 3 is there.
Okay. So if you had an 8, then you probably had like either like a 2 and a 6 or a 3 and a 5.
Yeah.
All right. So looks like it's not. It would have been a 7, so you had 3 and a 4. Okay.
Yeah. Let's do that.
So we'll say it was a 3 and a 4 or a 2 and a 5. Either one of those. If you swap out the higher die for a 3, that would push you to a failure, right?
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I think so. Like crap. How about we roll dice again? Let's just roll 3d6 all over again. I screwed stuff up by clearing it out. I apologize.
That's fine.
Just roll 3d6 again.
3d6, choose the 2 lowest.
Yes.
All right, let's do that. Okay, so I got an 8.
So yeah, it looks like you got an 8. Good. I feel more comfortable about that. Thank you for allowing me to kind of redo. So with a 7 to 9 on that particular move, choose one. They'll soon realize you messed with their head. They follow a single command, or you convince them of something without providing proof as long as you do not lie. Sounds like you got a single command there because there is something going on. All right.
Yeah.
And with a 7 to 9, they'll soon realize you messed with their head. But for right now, she says, Yes.
I'm basically starting like, oh, looks like you need a drink, like you're tired and you need a night off, sort of thing.
Yes, I'm very tired. She takes her big lizard hands and wraps it around the bottle that the bartender gets, and it's the problem of a lizard ball. Like, how do you drink? You got to kind of pour it in there.
Straws.
Yeah, the straws. Sorry. Physics and Star Wars don't always mix. Cool. So for now, seem to have bought Val a little bit of time there. Quake, you notice that the dealer, that Twi'lek dealer, she has closed up her hand to Sabak, and it looks like she might be heading towards you. What do you do?
I really don't have time for her right now. I have to keep an eye on Val. I have to keep an eye on Boozer, but I really want to talk to her. Oh, damn. I will try to move into a position where I can both keep Val and Boozer in my eyesight while I'm talking to her.
Cool. And again, it's been 20 years. Luckily, Twi'leks age well. And so she comes over and she walks her fingers up the side of your chest and rests it on your shoulder. She smiles. CG 5713.
I haven't heard that in a long time.
You have aged well, my friend.
I have aged, which is for someone like me is a compliment in its own.
She leans in and wraps her arms around you in a warm hug.
I try to move in a way that maybe I put my hand out so she can shake my hand.
She's gonna move past it. She's going for the hug, man.
I really don't want her to hug me, so I will just push her away and say, "Hey, I don't go."
Nice, like hands up, like pushing her away.
Yeah, like hey, I don't go for this.
CG.
You can call me Quake.
Quake is my son's name.
That's interesting choice.
I named him after you, since he wouldn't exist if you hadn't freed us.
Well, that's nice. So you living a good life here?
She looks around. It's better than what we had, by far.
Yeah. Well. So.
Your friend looks like she's in a bit of trouble.
Is she?
Wow.
Who's that guy?
The Ithorian is working with the Moonies. You know the Moonies are the name for the Sinali rebels.
Yeah, I know that. I guessed that, at least.
You're very smart.
Well, is that a bad thing?
Yes, if you get caught, but it can be profitable.
Well, profitable doesn't sound so bad. And not getting caught is kind of what she's good at.
Okay. Well, I just hope that my friends don't get shot up in case she gets in trouble. Is there anything you need, Quake? Oh, so weird calling you Quake.
Well, it's my name, or what people call me for the last 30 years. So, didn't expect to see you again, really. Didn't expect to come back here.
Well, odd circumstances that bring us together.
Is there anything going on? I mean, this planet has a game casino right now.
Well,
I remember they were pretty uptight.
they are a little bred in circuses. The conflict between the Sonali and the Rutan has gotten very scary. It's dangerous here.
Huh. I'd hope they'd come to terms after all this time. I mean, it's...
You didn't make things better, Quake. What a surprise, right?
Yeah, well, making things better is not something I'm good at. I mean, I try, but, you know.
How long are you here for?
As long as until we get a job and fly away again, I guess.
Oh, I see.
Well, you know what? I've got this, and I take something out of my pocket, and it's a little, it's PbtA, kind of wind up AT-AT thingy, because I think Quake collects these kinds of things like wind up toys. And hey, maybe your son would like that. I don't know how old he is, but I don't know. Maybe it's stupid, but.
She takes it, looks at it. Oh, this looks a little vaguely familiar. It's a lot smaller, though.
Yeah, well, yeah. I think I should go over and take a look at what Val's doing, because that guy, he looks kind of shady.
I agree. But listen, if you end up staying here any longer, I offer you my home, food.
Well, as much fun as I had talking to you, I hope I won't have to take you up on it.
Good luck. May the force be with you.
Yeah, not likely.
So we cut back to Moza, and he's just made his offer plus 10%. What do you think? This is a good deal. Yes, right? Come on.
Yeah, you know, I think like, you know, when this guy fired me, I, you know, kind of swore I'd never work with him again. But, you know, a little quick run to the moon for an extra 10%, that's, yeah, I'll take it. I'll like, well, okay. I do have to talk to, you know, my partners over there and make sure they're willing. But yeah, let me go talk to them for a minute.
Cool. So just to make you aware, there's actually a move in the commerce moves. So it's under the move special in commerce called negotiate terms. When you commit to a contract or mission and meet your contact to negotiate the terms, you can roll plus disposition. Now, disposition varies between, you know, positive and negative, as you would expect. Do you think that Moza's disposition towards you is positive or negative? It sounds like he fired you and didn't give you a good reason, so it could tend towards negative, but it's neutral because he's offering you a contract. What do you feel like?
Yeah, mine toward him is negative, but I think his toward me, like, this was a business decision and it wasn't personal to him. So I think neutral is...
Sounds good. All right. Good. So then let's go ahead and engage that move just so you have a thing to go back to the others with. Does that sound good?
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Your roll plus disposition if you know your client, which you do.
Okay, what's neutral? I rolled a 9, but
neutral is a 0, so you'd roll a flat roll.
9.
Okay. Hey, you got a 9. I'm sorry, I was updating the NPC thing, and I.
Oh, no problem.
Cool. On a 7 to 9, you managed to get a small concession. Choose one. Negotiate a better payment upon completion, and when you complete the contract, you roll your ship payment move at advantage, or you gain some useful information from your contact. I'll reveal a hidden detail of the contract, or you get an upfront expense payment or resource provided, and each crew member can make a roll on this commerce thing to get themselves some cool gear. That's the short version of that. Like they're more official words. Just trying to make it easier.
I think because I already asked him, I think he does eventually, gives me a useful detail.
Sweet. Okay, so the useful detail you get is that, it's more than parts. It's basically several crates worth of armament, from blaster carbines, blaster rifles, thermal detonators, and blaster armor for the Sonali rebels, basically.
Yeah, and that's good because my crewmates may have feelings about being arms dealers as opposed to just parts dealers, right? So
right, absolutely. That's important for them to know that thing.
Yeah.
Cool. So you can extricate yourself from Moza. He trusts you enough. Like you kind of tend to have an agreement on possibly taking this contract. He's put himself at some risk by telling you the truth of what's going on. So if you don't take the contract, that could go badly. Like he may think you need to quiet you, but at this point, everything appears to be on the up and up.
Okay,
so
I'll go back and tell him.
Round you guys back up again if you want. Cool.
Yes,
Val comes back over to you.
And, and Booz is still at the bar, keeping an eye on his new best friend.
Hey, Val, we have a job?
Maybe. I remember I remember your reaction to the last one, so you'll be happy to learn that I told him I'd have to get your agreement first.
That's nice. That's very, very wise. So let's talk to Booza and see what he thinks.
Yeah. Who was the Twilight lady? She seemed to know you.
Yeah. You remember when I told you about the ship and how it crashed and what I was doing? She was one of these people on that ship.
Oh.
Yeah. She kind of, I don't even know if she recognized me. I mean,
she seemed to recognize you real well.
Yeah, sure, but I could have been a totally different clone, and I might have pretended to say that. Damn. Oh well. So, what are we gonna do? I think we'll gather up Booza and then we'll leave his reptilian friend behind, maybe.
Yeah, I think.
Okay, so you guys go up to the bar?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. How did it go?
Is there any? I kind of look around, make sure there's nobody listening.
There's the Trandoshan who's right there.
Right.
But
maybe we have this discussion elsewhere.
But you figure out Booza is looking at Quake. Like, how did it go?
Right.
Not at Val.
Mm-hmm.
Man, meeting old acquaintances is not my favorite.
Well, maybe tonight you should meet for a more private meeting.
I should meet who? I'm sorry, I didn't get that.
Maybe you should meet your friend again for a more private meeting.
Ha ha. Very funny.
What?
I think we have got business.
Right.
Oh,
Let's get food and discuss other preparations.
Yeah, please, let's do that.
Okay.
Yeah, so I think we depart.
Yes.
Hopefully without being tailed.
Yeah, as far as you can tell, you guys are good to go. That Trandoshan still seems to be under the influence. You know, there'll be a thing after you guys leave. You kind of shakes her head. Reaches down to a data pad, starts ham-fisting in some information there.
Yeah, so I think we go to wherever we're staying for the night.
Yeah, okay.
The ship, right?
Yeah. Okay.
Sweet, you come back, there's a fresh smell of groceries, and you can definitely smell there's some bantha milk that's being used in the cooking, and yeah, 404 was successful. And then
when we get enough money, we need to program 404 to be our cook.
Oh yeah, you know, that's a.
I think he would enjoy that. I think.
Yes.
So who was your friend, Uza?
My friend, bounty hunter, keeping an eye on the business deal going on over there with Val.
Okay.
Yes, very very likely to be a complication for us.
Oh.
She seemed nice.
Huh. That adds a little.
Do you have a bounty on your head, Val?
Not that I know of.
It might have been bounty on contact.
Oh.
We could check the bounty board. The BBS.
Great.
Yeah, I think that would be good.
So who's that fellow?
An old boss. How would you two feel about making just a little short run to the moon while we're here before?
With Nerf?
No, not Nerf.
What?
Oh, weapons.
No.
Oh. Well, that would be complicated.
Absolutely not.
Just a quick question. Is that planet affiliated with the Empire? Or is the moon?
Great question. So the moon is unaffiliated. The Rutan government is part of the Empire, but it's almost like a vassalage. And that's why you don't see a super big stormtrooper presence here, is that evidently the Empire's their governor for this particular sector trusts the Rutani to take care of business.
Is the governor involved in the conflict between the moon and the planet at all?
Of course. It's the Empire.
Right, okay.
I don't know, maybe... I don't know, last time I was here, these Rutani were part of, well, the time before anyway. They were part of the Republic, and the moon, they were separatists, but by now it seems to be the other way around. These guys are part of the Empire, and the moon guys still don't want to be part of it. I mean, something in me says, if it's gonna hurt the Empire, let's do it.
But it's never that easy. The innocents always pay the price.
Yeah, but do they pay a higher price if we get the weapons there, or if we don't?
That's a good question.
Because the war is on anyway.
Yeah. You know, people are going to die either way. There's, you know, like you said, it's a war.
But then we'd be profiting off their deaths.
Well, if they have weapons, they can kill Empire soldiers. So the Empire won't, I guess.
I must think on this tonight. I something about this does not feel right.
So your bounty hunter friend, probably working for the Empire then, huh?
Oh, very likely.
Not like the local. Okay. Yeah, I mean, I don't think I have a rap sheet with the Empire, but most might.
Is there a way for someone looking at Val discreetly find out about Moza and Bounty Hunter connection?
Connection as in
Bounty on Moza.
Oh, bounty on Moza?
Yeah.
I'm sure there's. Is there a way?
And I'm not insinuating that we get the money for turning in your former boss.
No, that would be that. There's. I can see so many things wrong with that idea. Definitely, we don't want to do that.
I don't think I want to hand over people to the Empire anyway.
No.
It is if you have a bounty hunter credentials or guild membership, it's easy. Otherwise, you need to slice into their systems to try to pull bounty information.
Okay. So I don't know if this is a possibility, Rich, to like I know mechanically in other games it is to have maybe use the Force to take credentials off my friend and have them with me.
I'm gonna kind of backtrack a little bit that you did that.
Yeah.
That sounds interesting.
I feel like we should roll to see how complicated that might have been.
Yeah, so I think what you need to do there is you're kind of using your reflexes to negotiate through danger towards a goal, right? That feel right. So we'll have you act quick, but we're flashing back to that thing. So you have it.
I feel like I out of a pocket like this.
You got a little robot-y, David. I couldn't hear what you said.
So I think Booza pulls out the identification, says, "You mean like this? You need this?"
Nice. And then let's roll act quick to see how you pulled it off. I accept that, but are there complications due to that thievery? So roll 2d6 plus slick. Your slick is a -1. Okay, for some reason, when you roll, it looks like it's going in order. I saw a 3, 4, 5, and a 3 and a 6 just appeared.
Yeah, like on the outside or something.
Yeah, because it looks like sorting dice. The checkbox for sort dice is on. Is probably what's going on.
Okay, so I got an 8 total because I rolled a 9 with a -1.
That's pretty fabulous. So with a 7 to 9, you have a few choices to make, and then we'll bounce right back into this move. On a 7 to 9, you do it, but choose one. You're off balance or rushed, which means you have disadvantage on the next roll. You've left something behind. I will tell you what. Or you push to your limits with the effort. You suffer 1 stress.
Okay. So
I'm going to take a moment before you make that choice, just because there was a thing I wanted to explain later. I'm going to do that now.
Okay.
So the way the cycle of violence in this game, I find pretty fascinating. So you have harm, right? And harm goes from just a scratch all the way to I can't go on. Now, unlike Apocalypse World and other games, harm as it goes up actually affects your stats. Like it makes it harder to pull things off, which I think is kind of neat. Harm is difficult to heal and it's a little sticky. Then you have stress. At any point that you are supposed to take harm, you can instead elect to take stress. And then if you get 5 stress, when it accumulates to 5 stress, you then mark a calamity. And calamity is the thing I mentioned before. It's major change in your character's story. When you fill up all of your calamity boxes, you're done. Your story's done. So it actually is kind of a march towards the conclusion of your character's story. So marking stress also can happen from things that aren't violence related, like this act quick, just things that are high pressure and the stress happens. You can use Lean on Me to relieve stress, and then you can use tactile packs and other rest and the like to heal harm. But a lot of times in the middle of a fight, you probably want to take your harm and apply it to stress so that you can keep fighting without taking worse stats. That's the cycle of violence in this game that I think is one of the sweet spots, and it's borrowed from Night Witches and refined, and I think it's really cool. So you have a few choices from the mixed result of that act. Quick, which one do you want to go with?
So I am leaning towards stressed.
Okay.
And what I think that might look like is that to keep up appearances, I had to keep ordering drinks and drinking, like actually.
You're a little drunk.
And I'm probably in my cups.
Go home,
like
Booza.
So probably after a while, like I looked at the identification hanging there, and then it like, and then went with sort of like what would Val do, and managed to either physically accidentally bump into her, or a combination of that with like the Force, and got it from my good drinking friend. And now I'm still inebriated.
Way to go, Booza. All right, so you pull up the bounty hunter thing. You guys have been talking with Booza, and you realize that Booza's in his cups a little bit, but he does have the bounty hunter credentials that we saw around the Trandoshan's neck.
So we could find out what bounty is on Mosa, was his name?
Yeah,
we could find out bounties on everyone here.
You know, that's not a bad idea.
No,
there might be someone worth turning in.
I don't want to turn anyone into the Empire, but you know,
or find as contact.
Yeah.
I go to bed.
Yeah.
He's going to bed. Go home, Booza. You're drunk. I think because you guys have a bounty hunter set of credentials, and you're going to log into the guild database to check bounties on people, I'll allow that to be a share expertise roll, which you can roll with advantage because you have an easy in. It's just really just searching in and making sure that nothing goes wrong. If you fail at this, there's a possibility you just get lost or you trip, and some of the people are aware of your presence. Who would like to try to check out the bounties on Mosa and others with share expertise?
Maybe I should do that. I've been around these databases for a while. So yeah, I'll try to do it with my amazing calculating stat of 0.
You're rolling with advantage, so
and
you get 3d6.
Oh, that's good. That's a very good thing.
Those are snake eyes.
Because well, I've got a 3, so it's not snake eyes.
Awesome. So you guys log into the Bounty Hunter Guild database, and you pull up the rap sheet on Mosa, and Val, you see several of the jobs that you did for him are still there on his rap sheet. He's got a whole ream worth of things that he's done since then. And then starting about, how long have you been gone from Mosa? How many years?
Let's say 3 years.
Cool. As of 2 years ago, he has been involved here on Rutan and Sinali, working back and forth. And he went from random jobs, catch as catch can, a lot of grift, thievery, hawking goods, that kind of stuff, to moving up the ladder of fomenting rebellion, and now he's trying to supply the Moonies, the Sinali rebels, with arms and armament that he has purchased on the black market or stolen from military and the like. And so his bounty is significant, and it is a capture alive for questioning for the Empire. So yeah, you guys are getting all of that. And as you are doing that, Booza, you're headed to try to sleep this off. And 404 gives off a klaxon. And it is the klaxon you guys know of when someone has pulled down the gangway and is entering your ship. So we intruder alarm, and that's where we end today's session.
Gotta get that one fixed.
As a very pissed off Trandoshan is entering, with their blaster cart.
Did you see my note?
Yeah, there you go. Like, really, do that really fast. 404 is working on copy.
Oh my gosh.
So yeah, you have a Trandoshan bounty hunter who is entering the nerf herder to try to get her bounty hunter credentials back, and that's how we'll end today's session. I wanted to end. Oh wait, David, dang it! There's some cool session stuff that we do, and so I wanted to leave time for that. Oh, David. Okay. Cool. Sorry about that. Had to sneeze. Cool. So we end on a cliffhanger, which is funny because when you reach the end of the episode, the special move is called a cliffhanger. So if you go to the move special in commerce, it's in the first row under special moves. When you reach the end of an episode, go through the following. Each player takes a turn reading their hooks. If the table agrees that at least one of the player's hooks impacted the events or the character, the player marks XP. And then you can remove any hooks you feel no longer relevant and write new hooks inspired by events in the game or your original hooks list from character creation. So let's start with Quake. What were the hooks that you had today? Are you talking on mute, Sabine?
I'm jumping around on my computer screen. So I have as hooks, Val is like a child to me. I'll teach them to be strong. I'll protect Buza from anything. And I have an unsettled score with the Empire. I think the first two there didn't really come into the... I mean, they informed my character's behavior, but they weren't exactly something I used. But I have an unsettled score with the Empire that might propel me into taking this job more seriously than I would usually because it's dangerous.
Yeah, I think you definitely leaned into all of those. And so I agree. Anybody disagree? Everybody good with that? Awesome.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So mark an XP for that. Buza.
Cool.
What were your hooks?
My orders: hunted by the Empire for our beliefs. I must stay incognito. I will teach Val that they can't always break the rules. And Quake has a destiny I must make them see and commit to. I feel like the first two were in play in some ways. Definitely the first one with the Trandoshan.
I actually thought there was a little bit of even though it was teasing about the Twi'lek and with Quake, like it seemed like that was influencing a bit of that as well.
Yeah,
like
kind of like owning up to like your past and things. Yeah, I can see that.
So I feel like anybody opposed, I feel like those hooks all played a part of decision making. Great. So go ahead and mark an XP. And then Val, what were your hooks today?
Buza isn't a leader anymore. I don't have to take their orders. I don't think I really ignored, it's probably more opinions than orders because I sort of interpreted leader as like it more than like they used to be a leader and now they're not and I don't have to take their orders. More like the Jedi aren't in charge anymore. Like, don't think that you're superior to me just because you're a Jedi. But either way, I don't think that really came into play that much or at all, really. I can't resist engaging in a complex deception when the truth would work perfectly well. I kind of got started with that a little, but I haven't really done anything with it yet. And Quake and I have seen everything together. We're closer than family. Nothing will pull us apart. I don't know that was really... I don't know that anything tried to pull us apart. So
Yeah, I'll take ownership on that. I don't think I did a good job of challenging that hook in particular. So sounds like maybe none of the hooks
No, I
directly
don't think
apply
so.
this time around. Okay.
Yeah.
If there are any hooks that you want to develop based off of what we did today, feel free. And I will have those as mile markers for future.
I might rewrite that first one just to make it a little more clear that
it'd be easier to hit that
specific
way.
to PbtA.
Yeah, we didn't know it going in. Cool. All right. So now we have some questions for the group. Oh, I'm sorry.
Can I ask a question? Do I mark 1 XP
You work
overall?
1 XP.
Overall.
But
Okay.
there are a few more questions that are group related that we're
Cool.
going to do here.
Okay.
Okay, and then you ask as a group, ask and answer as a group. If you get a yes, everyone marks an XP here. Did you complete a mission or contract? No, we made characters. Did you learn something new and important about the universe?
I don't feel like we did about the universe.
Well, the universe, it could be the Rutan Sonali conflict. It could be
Okay.
I feel
Yeah.
yes.
Then yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Did you make a new enemy or thwart an existing enemy?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, you did. And so that's 2 XP. And then
You're
was there a big moment that hinged on a crucial role?
I don't think so yet.
Not unless that last one.
Oh, that is true.
I agree. That definitely feels like it. So then that's 3 XP that everyone gets. And that ties up the cliffhanger aspect of the game. All the questions have been resolved. Mark burn and ticks. That's some stuff that I do on the back end. There's an episode stream that will affect your debt. All these other kind of upkeep things that are interesting. But that officially will conclude the impulse drive. I would like to take a 2-minute bio break and then just kind of step away from your characters so that we can do feedback. If you guys have time, I would very much love, we run through Roses and Thorns feedback, where we'll talk about the game and your characters and all that good stuff. And so I'm going to take 2 minutes. It's 53 after or 7 till. We'll take 2 minutes. And at 5 till, then we will go through that, and I shouldn't keep you over much. And if you need to go, that's totally cool. Feel free to go. I'll be back in 2 minutes.
Hey, Rich.
Hey, David.
Could you unhide the character creation stuff? I think I got 5 XP.
Oh, absolutely.
So I'm just curious.
There you go.
Awesome.
5 XP. That's right, because you guys just got 3 and you missed 1 or 2
Yeah, I
rolls.
got 2
they
before that.
Oh,
Okay.
wait, I missed the last roll, so I
Yeah,
have
you
5
did.
XP too.
Yeah. Advances. Exciting. Well, I know the shiny advances are probably distracting you a bit.
Amazing.
So the way that I like to do feedback is that we do roses and thorns. We start with thorns and we end with roses. And just to give you the heads up, I am the son of a former Marine Corps sergeant who became a high school principal. I welcome feedback. It will not break me. Not at all. Honestly, I consider this gaming for me is not just a hobby, but a bit of a craft. And adjusting to the feedback that I receive from other players has helped me to become a better and more successful space master. I just love being a space master. Like, this could be the crappiest game, but I can call myself a space master, but it's not a crappy game.
I
Cool.
feel if you added in there Space Guild Master, that would even be more epic.
Space Guild Master. All right, Adrian, if you're watching the Space Guild Master.
You need a Dune supplement in here.
Level up. Cool. All right, so thorns. Thorns are aspects of the game that were confusing, missed opportunities, something that you were hoping to get out of the game that you didn't see, or moments of frustration. Feel free to be open and honest with me. And again, if there's a thorn that you don't feel comfortable in an open forum expressing, you can reach out to me privately. But I think we're all friends here. So hit me with your best shot. Who'd like to go first with thorns? I will call upon someone.
I can go first.
All right, Sabine.
So, because that's a thorn, but it's more at myself, actually, because I didn't really know how to react in the scene with the Twilight Girl. And I felt a bit stuck, but I think that's mostly me, because I was a bit blindsided, actually. So, and I'm not entirely up to 100% today. I wish I had been able to make more of that scene.
I think it worked perfectly. The kind of like awkwardness was great. It may not have been what you would have gone for if you'd had time to think about it, but I think it worked really well.
Cool. Okay.
There's a moment where when I said I named him Quake, when I was leaving it out like that was an offer, and I'm worried, did that sound like a declaration? Because I wasn't saying that was the father as much as that was a legacy. That was a thing that Quake's actions helped to inspire.
That's what I got from this too. I thought about that could be Quake's son, but I didn't feel like no, I didn't think it would be. But as a legacy, I loved it.
Cool. I went for the lack of clarity to see which way you would take it, which sometimes I do without any warning, and maybe I could like
that's totally okay.
Okay.
Quake himself didn't know how to take it, but I thought, well,
I enjoyed the ambivalence of the scene.
Yeah.
Like, it felt very disquieting of like, okay, I didn't really want to deal with the mess of what was before. Cool. Anything else to be?
Cool. No.
All right. Who'd like to go next?
I can go next.
Okay, David.
I felt character creation for me took longer than it should have. And I think for me, if maybe having instead of having completely blank playbooks as the first thing you see, maybe have them already filled in, and then we select from those options in there. So be less copy pasting time. So I think that would have worked better for me, but I also can see the benefits of doing it the way that we did it too.
I just, the character keeper isn't something that Adrian's created. Is
Sure.
something that Maxim did, and one of the things that I like that Adrian, he saw that. Like, I gave him feedback last year when I tried to run Impulse Drive. I was going to run it for Origins, and he came up with a quick start that had the kind of stat pre-selected and all that stuff, and sped up play. I chose not. I chose not to do that here, but it wouldn't be that much more work to just have each of the playbooks already pre-filled, because there are no choices with gear. With
Right.
there's a choice between the first of the two moves for like training. I think that there's definitely something to that of,
And
like,
then
you're on columns A through Z if you want to do this.
and then you just hide the playbooks that people aren't choosing,
right,
and then you just go.
That's a good idea.
Or like if they're not showing up next week, you just hide that one.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you, David. That's good. Any other thorns?
No, I was actually, while he was saying that, I was thinking, okay, so I was thinking of like a very technical way where you would select the playbook and then things would pre-fill, but that's a much simpler solution. I wish I could think of a thorn. Nothing jumped out at me as
Okay.
man, I don't know. I feel guilty not thinking of a thorn here.
No worries, Bethany. Cool. So what I do is I do the roses and thorns in snake order, because if you're the last one to give a thorn, I'll let you be the first one to give a rose. Roses are compliments to your fellow players, moments that will stick with you, highlights, things about the game system that you enjoy. Bethany, did you have any roses?
Yeah, I like that Sabine just completely leaned into these hooks right from the beginning. Like, we know exactly what Quake is about. We know, and just like played that. I'm always impressed when someone can do, like, okay, I know what this character is about. I'm going to like be that character right from the first moment. That's impressive, and that's really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. Thanks, Bethany. David, what about you? Any roses from you?
Yeah, I really liked how everyone collaborated very well together, worked with each other's ideas, and again, like, both Val and Quake just were like, we are these people, and they just lived it. I thought that was really nice. And Rich, as always, you did a great job explaining the system to us, helping guide us newbies, and sharing your love of Star Wars with us. So thank you very much.
Cool. I love that you guys are willing to subject yourselves to my geekery. I try to make it as welcoming as possible, but really, I just want to play Star Wars every single Saturday. And I'm glad you guys jump in. Sabine, any roses from you?
Oh yeah, totally. First of all, I loved your enthusiasm for Star Wars, and the way that you conveyed that was just so catching. I was so much, yay, I'm gonna play Star Wars, great. And well, to Bethany and David, I loved your characters, both of them. Val, the kind of hot-headed, well, the rural childhood she ran away from. I love that. And I love this calculating Jedi who was not quite the wise Obi-Wan or the whole totally mystic kind of monk. He was a real dude. I like that. I really like that. I enjoyed that. And I'm looking forward to playing with all of you again.
Absolutely. I got a few roses to share as well. I love the name of your ship. It's terrible and wonderful at the same time. This hodgepodge droid that used to be stuck on the ship that now is mobile and gets little missions, like that whole little side business was delightful. Like, really, really fun. Thank you. I love 404. He's great. Now I'm going to be like Pinterest searching for 404, and hopefully I don't find droids with spears, Bethany. That's my hope. This was great. You guys are wonderful, and I cannot wait to play some more. I'm already like looking ahead of like only 3 sessions. Dang. But we're definitely going to have some fun as we go. Thank you all so much for playing, and I'll go ahead and stop the broadcast here.